Hello, I'm Sunshine, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can 3D print something actually useful in just 2 minutes. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can 3D print some zip ties. Now, there are already a few 3D printed zip tie models, like this one for instance, on Thingiverse. However, I've had some issues with them. They generally work quite okay, but you're not supposed to be able to do that with a zip tie. So I thought let's make a zip tie that's actually useful for 3D printing. Now, if we look at the zip tie, there's two components to it. You have the locking mechanism and the long string. Why would we have to print something like this if we already have a lot of filament? So after noticing that the original zip tie design doesn't work that well for 3D printing, I came up with this. Now, this is a scaled up version, however it makes it a lot easier to show you exactly how this works and why it works. So what you would do if you want to use this system is you first print out a block, a test gauge like this. You figure out which hole size you want to use for the optimal fit or for your preferred tolerances. I would recommend maybe a little bit looser than the absolute tightest that you can get it through. Once you know what type of zip tie you need to print to get the desired clearance and strength of the zip tie, you can go into the files and print them out, basically. To avoid having lots of tiny, smaller than Lego pieced zip ties flying around in your apartment, I designed a block of 10 of these zip ties, where you can easily just take your strain of filament that you were planning on using as zip tie, and just thread it through one of these holes. And there you go. 10 zip ties on a string. Now if you want to use one of these, you can easily just tear one off and use it as intended. Pretty neat. Now, when it comes to what type of materials you should use for your zip ties, for the block itself, I would recommend PLA, and for the wire itself, I would recommend as soft as possible. I've been using this TPU, that's not Ninja Flex, it's pretty strong. But it's the cheapest TPU I could find. It works really well with the PLA's zip tie locking mechanism. The next step down would be PETG, which also works quite well. And PLA works also pretty well. However, if you have PETG or TPU on hand, I would definitely use that instead. Let's have a closer look at how the zip tie works. The two low clearance holes in the locking block guide the filament to the taper that is found at the top, which again knicks the filament, creating some tension in the filament which results in a locking action. On the bottom we can see that both holes are quite aggressively chamfered. This is to counteract the elephant footing effect that would otherwise make this print difficult for most household 3D printers to print. However, what if you want to attach something less permanently and just want to be very flexible with your sizing? That's why I have designed these easy peasy flexible band ties. I've seen lots of these designs before, but I just optimized these for 3D printing. And I created a few with holes in them, so you can, hook them up onto something or, up to you. Both designs are pretty neat. I would recommend to scale them up or down depending on, what you're going to use them for. For these types of rubber bands, I found that scaling them up 125% works really, really well. However, if you have smaller rubber bands, I would maybe recommend to use them at 100% scale or even smaller. And it really depends on what type of rubber bands and for what you want to use these. So these are pretty neat. You have those that are without holes, maybe a little bit stronger, and then you have those with holes that are also plenty strong enough, and you can just hook them onto things and stuff. So they're pretty useful. You can also use the original filament zip ties to put them on a string. Thanks for watching. You should totally subscribe and comment and like and all those things. And don't forget to check out the older videos where Sunshine makes some cool 3D printed brushes and some other chainmail wallets. Anyways, bye!